It was just cursed from the start. Did you hear about all the coaches that didn't show up to lift fans? About 5 coaches out of 20 turned up.
Right.
Do you know the company I booked with?
Go on.
Them. I was one of the coaches that turned up. Very lucky.
Oh, that's good.
One pulled up and he didn't have the sign or the number in the front, and we were all standing there going, "Oh, coach number 5, yeah!" We were all cheering. It was about an hour late, but we were like, "Thank fuck!" We got on it. We were the last coach.
Yeah.
We'd have just went home otherwise. We'd have planned it. We'd have figured out. We'd have spent money on flights or drove. So it was already off to a fucking shaky start. I didn't think I'd go. Like I've been to so many games this season. Obviously, every Champions League home game.
Yeah.
As many as you can get to in the Prem, Carabao Cup, FA Cup. I got a ticket for the final, and I was like, holy fuck. Couldn't believe it, like, because the allocation was a joke. UEFA took too many, and UEFA can go fuck themselves. Fucking horrible. Oh.
Yeah.
I said it. Drove down to Paris. This is where it just started to go tits up. One of the lads we were with had his phone nicked by a pickpocket. So we left, got out to the ground. We got out to the stadium, or the stop, the train station at the stadium. Still good vibes. Everyone's singing. We go around the corner, and then the police just sort of stopped everyone and was letting them go in like 5-minute intervals.
Right. Is this... So
this is
obviously...
going to the ground. So this is
okay.
around about 6:30 or so.
Yeah.
So about 2.5 hours before kickoff.
Yeah.
People were losing phones. Tickets were being robbed. They were just jacking everything. Like I was holding on to like my man bag.
Right. Yeah.
My bum bag. I was holding it on to like that with my phone like fucking underneath it, grabbed tight. The police were filtering people, and it was weird because they parked their vans so bad to where everyone was bunched together. The locals were kicking off, or there was a kick-off at the back, and there was a bit of a scuffle. But when everyone's that tightly packed together, scuffle, everyone sort of like waved about, and it got tight, and it got moody. It was scary because there's thousands of people under this bridge. The police vans are there. There's concrete walls at either side. You're like, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If something happens, and that's because the police vans were there. There was more than enough room. They could have moved, and everything would have moved a bit more freely. And the French government are now saying these bottlenecks were caused because they were doing ticket checks. My ticket wasn't checked until I got to the turnstile. There was no check on anyone on any of like the stations going into the stadium.
Right.
It was a joke. So we were waiting under there for about an hour. The police didn't care. They were just laughing. Like people were expressing their concerns and they were just brushing it off and like laughing. And then when you got out, that's where that video is of people, and it's going all over Twitter, and people are saying, "Oh, Liverpool fans again jumping barriers." That wasn't at the ground. That was to get out of the crush, because they had these barriers, so people were just jumping the other side and sending the kids over to get out. That was on the ramp up to the stadium. That was nowhere near the turnstiles or jumping into the stadium at all. Because if you think one barrier, waist height, is the only security that you have going into a stadium, you're a fucking idiot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was scary enough. Like, and then when we got to our gate, it was locked, and it had been locked for about an hour or so at this stage, and no one knew what was going on. We were getting no answers. Again, people were queuing up, and then every time one small gate opened, and there's videos of it, you can look online, the locals were rushing into it. Do you know what I mean? And then they were closing it again, and then that was just causing more and more panic, and people had to wait to move the barriers back, and it was just scary. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we took ourselves out of the queue, and we were just standing back watching, because we were like, we didn't even know if we were going to get in at this stage, and it was just scary. People were like coming away from the gate to try and get a breather, because you're seeing kids being lifted over, and like people making circles around the kids to try and keep them safe, because it was dangerous. It was getting to the stage where something bad could happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the Liverpool fans, from what I seen in my experience there, they all behaved unbelievably. Do you know what I mean? They were doing their best against everything that was happening. The French police being heavy-handed, the locals rushing the gates. Do you know what I mean? Police shot tear gas, and I didn't know what was going on. Whenever I smelt like a bit of a funny smell, I've never been tear gas before. Didn't know what it smelled like. Yeah. So one eye started stinging, so I was like, "Oh, someone's let off a smoke bomb," and a bit of it got in my eye. And then I took a deep breath and like tasted like this fucking weird thing, and then both eyes started burning really badly. Like I couldn't see. The lad I was with, his eyes were stinging too, but not as bad. He was standing a little bit behind me, yeah. So we were trying to get back to our gate, and I was like, I couldn't see. I was bumping into people, like, it was so sore, and my eyes were stinging and swollen. The UEFA said that fans arrived late, which is bullshit, and that's a dangerous lie to tell.
Yeah.
Because we were all there early, and reading some of the stuff that people are saying online, oh, Liverpool fans, blah blah blah, and they're making horrendous references. Like, there was people that were with us that were there in 1989 and seen some of the horrendous scenes, and UEFA and the French police were going towards causing something horrible to happen. And then it was just traumatic for a lot of people, and I've never felt as unsafe at a football game in my entire life.
No.
And that's meant to be the pinnacle of European football.
That's meant to be one of the best nights of your life.
It's the biggest
As a
sporting
Liverpool
event.
fan,
Yeah.
You're a Liverpool fan. You've got the chance to go to a Champions League final. That's meant to be something that you're going to remember for the rest of your life, and you're going to remember it now for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. The game felt secondary the whole time we were there. Do you know what I mean? It was trying to get a bit of atmosphere going, but I just felt relief that it was safe.
Oh yeah,
it was weird. Like, I've seen better atmosphere at fucking Aston Villa at home in December, and that's meant to be the Champions League final. Do you know what I mean? It's weird. It's weird talking about it, like such a big event and such looking forward to it and coming back and being like this rather than being like, oh, it was a shit result. But all the fans have been brilliant. Do you know what I mean? They've all been reaching out to each other, and I've had people asking me, was it alright if I need to talk or anything. So I mean, it's great to see that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.